No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Crime Time with Brittani and Renae. Who's excited? Hopefully, a lot of people. Yeah. It is only Tuesday, though, so it might not be possible.
Well, I didn't mean for the week. I just meant for the show.
I know. I'm with you. Sorry.
Nobody's excited that it's Tuesday.
Exactly. What about the weekend? How was your weekend?
My weekend was really good. I had a nice little adventure.
Good.
Adventures are good sometimes.
Yeah. Drove to Louisiana to help a friend get a tire. Didn't get back home until 2 a.m. So
That's never
shout
fun.
out to Sasha.
Hey, Sasha. Well, I went to a pickle festival in New Braunfels, and
So jealous.
it was supposed to be fun. It was fun. I had fun with my friend,
Yeah.
but it wasn't what I expected. There wasn't a lot of pickles. I was disappointed.
Why would you call it a pickle fest if you don't have
I don't
pickles?
know. I guess they were out. I don't know. I don't know. I was expecting one of those, the big pickle that comes in the bag that's so good. Like you get
The
it
Big
from
Papas?
the movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Like you get from the movie theater.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see a lot of this and I didn't. So I don't know.
Confused about the size.
Yeah. Drive 3.5 hours to go see a jar of pickles.
Mediocre pickles.
Whatever. All right. So
Let's
today.
get into our case.
What?
I said, let's get into our case.
Yes, absolutely. True crime is what it is. So today we are going to talk about Amanda Marie Claremont.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Oh. I'm having technical difficulties. Sorry. Okay, there we go. All right. So today we're going to talk about Amanda Marie Claremont.
Mm-hmm.
She was a 21-year-old that was born April 25th of 1996 in Aurora, Illinois.
Yeah.
To Kathy and Jeffrey Claremont. She actually lived in Sandwich, Illinois. Have you ever heard of Sandwich, Illinois?
No.
I didn't know there was a city called Sandwich, but there is.
I'm so curious to find out the history behind that and how that even came to be.
How did they come about? Let's name it Sandwich.
Because so many places are named after like people's last names or first names. There's not a place that they're named just
makes you
Sandwich.
Want to know, is there a city called Cheese? Or bread?
There's a city called Hershey.
Yeah. There are some. I know there's a place in Texas called Hale, Texas.
I want to go there. No.
No. I think it's like the Somali city or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, she was born in Aurora, but lived in Sandwich, Illinois.
Uh-huh.
So not long after, she moved to Texas and started high school in Frisco, Texas. I don't know why I said it Frisco. It's Frisco, Texas. Trying to change the name. My friend is listening, and she is from Frisco, so got to say it right.
What's up, Crystal?
Hey, Crystal. So, okay. So she graduated from high school from Frisco, Texas, from Liberty High in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, she moved to Denton and went to University of North Texas in Denton, and she majored in business. So she went there from 2015 until 2017. She was a senior. Well, she started in 2014 till she was a senior at UNT. And at the same time she was going to school there, she also worked at Nordstrom at Stonebriar Center in Frisco as a makeup artist. Now, let me just tell you, we're going to put some pictures here in the comments here shortly, but this girl was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
and she was amazing at makeup and hair. Her hair was beautiful, and her face was beautiful, and her makeup looked amazing. So I can see why she would be doing this, because you could just tell.
Yeah, 100%. Huh. Oh,
so
I can't read it, so I don't know.
Oh, just tell her to go. Go.
Okay.
So
sorry, guys, we're having a little bit of difficulty.
Yeah, Brittany has missing a contact, so she can't see.
Brittany's one contact shy, and so usually I'm on my A game, but right now I look like Frankenstein because one of my pupils is bigger than the other, and I can't really see. So
she has a contact.
Y'all just bear with
messing
me.
With her eyeballs. So.
Literally, I'm trying to type, and it's like impossible.
Not see very well.
Right.
So, okay. So she has lots of pictures of herself. She's absolutely beautiful. And she is, there's lots of photos of her online and Facebook and things like that. So anyway, didn't
she like do her friend's makeup and stuff too?
Yes. Yeah. There was a story that her dad told where she had had a friend that needed her makeup done for prom, and she didn't have the money.
Yeah.
And Amanda did it for free.
That's so nice.
So her friends described her as very fun, very sweet, dedicated, goal-driven. She had dreams and goals. She was happy, hardworking, and just all around a fun person.
Yeah.
So she also had, she loved animals. She had a dog, and she had a bunny named Cookie. She posted lots of pictures of her bunny named Cookie. She loved,
I
animals.
love watching bunnies eat dandelions on TikTok.
Yeah, and she dressed it up. It was really cute.
So cute.
So on Facebook, she does have a Facebook. She had an Instagram where she did makeup posts. She also tweeted a lot. It was back before Twitter was called X. Yeah, it was called Twitter back then. And so she posted on all these. Now, she did have a YouTube channel, and she had just started it, and she basically said, I'm going to tell y'all my top 5 makeup products and what I like best about them, and how much they are.
So she was trying to get like social media going for makeup.
Yes,
that's
she
cool.
only did one video though. I guess she got busy with all her. She seemed to have a busy life.
Oh,
but you can find her on social media. Her Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yeah,
and she did talk about Snapchat, but I never found it. So okay. So now on November 19th of 2017, this was on a Sunday. Corinth is a city that is right outside of Frisco. I'm probably saying this wrong because it's confusing. I'm not from this area, the North Texas area, north of Dallas area. But
maybe Crystal can tell us where.
Yes,
it is.
Exactly. She can probably tell us for sure. But anyway, Corinth police were doing a drive around, checking the local businesses, and they come upon an abandoned vehicle at the 5700 block of I-35 in Corinth. And right next to it is it said 4 Stars Nissan, and then I also saw it referred to as Gun Nissan of Denton. So it might have been called that then, and now it's called this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, there's an empty parking lot that's right on the across from this dealership. So they see an abandoned vehicle sitting there, and it's got its lights on, and they're like, let's go check this out. So they go over there, they get to the vehicle, they get out and walk up to the vehicle, and there is a woman inside the vehicle that has been shot, and she's deceased. Amanda Marie Claremont. And what's weird is the vehicle door, the passenger door is open, the vehicle's running, the lights are on. And it's kind of like in the fence, kind of pushed into the fence. I don't think she was driving and like wrecked into the fence, but I think maybe she was just sitting there with the vehicle running and just, once she was shot, it just rolled into the fence.
Oh, like her body rolled the car?
Like maybe she had her foot on the brake, just stop and talk to somebody for a minute.
Oh, wow.
So it was her vehicle was a dark colored vehicle. And like I said, it had its lights on, the vehicle was running, the passenger door was open. And apparently, according to police, she had pulled into the parking lot to speak to someone. And one or more people, I don't know, I think that they might have got surveillance footage from the Nissan dealership.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to see maybe a couple of people getting out, but it's so far that you can really tell.
Yeah.
So multiple gunshot wounds. She was shot more than one time. So after police start checking into this, they find out that the night before, Amanda had left Denton and had hung out with some friends in Denton called Fry Street bar area.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back over here.
Kind of like Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like an area where there's different bars that you go to, and you can kind of just go from
like
one
bar hop.
Yeah, one to the other.
That's what we did this weekend.
I don't know. I don't want to know. So there's several of them. One of them is called Fry Street Public House.
Uh-huh.
The other one's called Fry Street Tavern. I don't know why I can't talk. The Hideout. And the Hideout is Hydeout, just in case anybody's looking for this.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a franchise because I've heard of the Hideout several times.
I have too.
Yeah.
And then Tom's Daiquiris. And when I thought of Tom's Daiquiris, I'm thinking of those little places that you go and you pull up and you get a daiquiri and it's, sealed and you take it with you. But it's not at all. It's absolutely a club with, the music, the dance floor, the whole 9 yards.
We have a couple of daiquiri places in Waxahachie.
Yeah. See.
And it's literally like a froyo place, but daiquiris. Yeah. You go up and you can mix the flavors.
Yeah. See,
it's
that's
like
what I was
Slurpees.
Thinking. When I heard Tom's Daiquiris, that's what I was thinking it was, but it's not. Absolutely not.
No,
not
I know for a fact that it's not like that.
Yeah. So she had went out the night before with friends on Fry Street on some of these places.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she left, she was heading home. And the next thing, the police come up on her vehicle at 6 a.m. on Sunday. So they said that she had been dead for a few hours. They did check her phone records, and there was no calls made from the time she left to the time that she ended up in that parking lot. There was no calls made.
Mm.
Yeah. So police are, absolutely looking for the person who did this. There is a vehicle of interest It's a 1999 to 2002. There's two options here. A 1999 to 2002 Chevrolet extended cab vehicle, a red or maroon. It kind of looks red to me. Tell her to put that in there again so people can see that video.
Oh, yeah. Can you play that video again by chance so people can see it?
Yeah, there we
Thank
go.
you.
So if you look at this video here, there's a truck and it's going past, and she's probably in front of the truck and they're probably going to pull into this parking lot. I don't know the situation, obviously, but that truck looks red to me, but I guess it could be maroon. But
Yeah.
anyway, so the vehicle
hard
is
to
a
tell.
1999 to 2002 Chevrolet extended cab red or maroon truck, or a 1999 to 2006 red or maroon GMC Sierra extended cab. So they know it's an extended cab truck, either red or maroon.
Yeah. Would
So-
love to hear people's opinions
Yeah,
on
what y'all
what they think it is.
Yeah, because they went through it a couple times. They've actually sent this video to different agencies that have the type of equipment that is needed to look at that and kind of determine what kind of vehicle it is. So they're still going through that.
That's what they determined. There's two different make
yeah.
and models.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
that's the latest that they had. I think they started out with something else.
Yeah.
So, it's really strange because here we have this 21-year-old girl who's extremely happy going to school. She's obviously doing the right thing. She's going to college to get her business degree. She's a senior. She is working at Nordstrom as a makeup artist. She's very happy. She's got lots of friends. She hangs out. She goes, going to clubs with her friends, doing things and working. And she ends up dead in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And nobody has anything bad
The
to say about
reality
her.
is this is a person that was about to go start a whole new life.
Yeah.
About to graduate from college.
Very young. It's so
Probably had a
sad.
very lucrative career in makeup
Absolutely.
artistry.
Yeah. Because if you see
And
the pictures,
very sad.
oh, Papa's listening.
Hi, Papa.
Her Papa, my dad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Grandfather's in the chat, everyone. Everyone be good.
yeah, right. But it's really sad to think that person so young
Yeah.
could absolutely just be killed for, who knows why,
Wrong place, wrong time
yeah,
kind of
but
situation or not.
It kind of
Sad.
seems, I don't think she was shot just more than once. They said multiple gunshot wounds, and that makes me think that it's personal. What do you think?
Multiple gun? Yeah.
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 When somebody, usually if they're just, and for them to have pulled off the highway, went into this empty parking lot.
It was almost like maybe she knew that person.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, let me pull over and let's talk and have a conversation.
But
And
what about the door being open? That's weird.
that is weird.
The door of the vehicle's
The
open. So
Driver's
it's
side door was open.
no, the passenger.
The passenger
Yeah,
side
so
door was open.
she's facing the fence.
Oh, somebody was definitely getting in that car.
Yeah. Yeah, they get in to talk or
So
whatever.
it must have been a very innocent interaction turned ugly
Yeah.
quick.
But can you imagine why on earth somebody needs to shoot somebody? It
I can
boggles
think of
my
a million
mind.
reasons, but I can't imagine that they're her fault.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really sad story. And she had 3 brothers, 1 sister. I think some of her siblings lived here, but she did have one for sure that I know of that lived in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom had died when she was young, but she did still have her dad. And so it's just a really sad story to think about, somebody just going about their life and somebody comes along and just kills them.
Yeah.
I do not understand. It's
I don't
very
understand that either.
confusing. But yeah. So, and this happened in 2017. So let me tell you a little bit about, I did find a little bit of information about her ex-boyfriend. So Amanda had an ex-boyfriend, and he was, I guess he was like, I don't know exactly when they started dating, but I think he lived in the Denton area, and he became a problem because she filed for a restraining order.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of this
Let's
before.
just preface that most men are a problem.
Yes. Well, he was a big problem because she got a lifetime restraining order against him.
Which is wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild.
Never even heard of those until
Yeah.
this case.
And I think this is why the story goes that he broke into her apartment and took pictures of her while she was sleeping. Is that not creepy?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's like serial killer creepy.
It's absolutely what scary stories are made of. And so on her Facebook, she posted, let me find my little note here. Where did it go?
We're doing great.
I know. Well, sometimes you just can't remember everything.
I know.
She posted on her Facebook that she said, I hate sleeping with the light on, but the thought of sleeping in the dark basically terrifies me. And I think it was because of this man.
Yeah.
That was scaring her. I mean, can you imagine waking up or finding out? Maybe she didn't wake up. Maybe she was so asleep that she didn't even know he did it. And then she found out later. Maybe he sent her pictures, something creepy. But people had thought that he had something to do with this, the family.
Yeah.
I actually reached out to her brother. He was one of the few people that I could get to respond to me. And I'm glad because it's hard. You contact the police department. They're like, what do you know about this crime? I know nothing. I'm trying to find out about it because I just want to cover it.
I'm just trying
I don't know a thing.
Help.
Everybody wants to think you had something. I did speak to her aunt. She was like, if you know something, you need to contact police. I'm like, no. I don't know anything. I want to know more because I think that this, people need to know about this case.
We're trying to gain attraction and attention on it because it's an unsolved murder.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah. And so the cities that are involved in this is
basically
Denton,
no leads.
Exactly. Denton, Corinth.
And it's 2017?
2017.
So
November
it's
19th of
been
2017.
A really long time.
Yeah.
And
8 years. Good
Jeez,
night.
It's crazy.
It doesn't feel like 2017 was 8 years ago, but it was.
No.
So if you go to Corinth Police Department Facebook, and there are two, because there's a Corinth, I don't know what state it is, but something else. I was on it and I was like, whoa, this is the wrong place. It's not Texas. But anyway, if you go to the right one, Corinth, Texas Police Facebook page, you can search her name and you'll see a lot of different posts about her where they've, pleaded to the public, hey, if you have information about this crime, and given all the information. So there was a woman that said, I met this girl in a bar in Denton, and she was terrified of a guy who ran and hopped a fence once she saw him in there. She proceeded to tell me and people who worked in the bar that she had a restraining order against him. And that's the boyfriend I was just telling you about. I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
She saw the post.
Was it the same timeline?
Well, this was a post about the murder, and I guess the girl found the post and recognized her.
So then maybe, okay, wait. So just hear me out.
Okay.
So if that happened and it is Amanda and her ex-boyfriend, then the video footage that we saw, if that's them, maybe it was like, hey, you need to pull over your car now. And he forcibly opened the passenger door.
That would be a big possibility, and the family probably believes that. But I will tell you, from my research, because when I found this out, I, of course, went down a rabbit hole, and he was in prison when she was killed. So...
Which is crazy.
And he was literally arrested for stalking, numerous times. So it wasn't that, unfortunately. I mean, it would be good if it was that easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got caught, but it wasn't that. So I don't know. It's
Maybe
a very strange case.
I mean, she was a beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she was young. And she was in college. Mm-hmm. And she was on social media. So it's... we could speculate that she had... Who?
You're young and on social media.
Not really. Not until this very moment.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't big on social media. But no, I'm just saying, I guess we could speculate that there was probably a second man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and they don't have any clues either. They can't even tell enough to know if it's a man or a woman. It's just interesting that they opened the car door. If you didn't know that person, you would be locking your doors and driving away. She must have known them for them to be able to open her car door.
Yeah.
Or
her car was unlocked.
Yeah, but if you're sitting there pulled over, are you going to just go, oops, my car's unlocked. I didn't mean for him to open it. I would be we lock our doors just sitting at a red light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. But cars in 2017 versus cars today. When I get in my car locks automatically.
Yeah. Yeah, mine does too when I put it in drive.
But they didn't do that back then.
Yeah, but she's driving on the highway by herself at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying anything could have happened. Yeah. You hear these stories all the time of people saying, if I had only locked my door.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Rhonda.
Even the people
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even the people that totally do every time.
Yeah.
I
know I do.
Sometimes I forget to lock the back door.
I got lucky.
No one on this show knows where I live.
And we'll never.
And we'll never.
I said I got lucky, but we have this lock, and we actually got something in the mail about this the other day saying if your lock was messed up and makes a loud noise now, we'll fix it for free. It happened like 4 years ago. But anyway, I have a Dodge van, and the lock got stuck. And for a while, we thought this whole door didn't work.
Yeah.
And then we found out that it was just the lock was stuck. So Keith ended up fixing it because they wanted $3,000. So he fixed it.
They said they'd do it for free.
Well, now. This is now. This was back then.
Oh.
So now when it locks, it makes this really loud noise. But you know your car's locked. You're
That's
like,
so true.
We're good. The vehicle is officially locked.
If my car did like a, like a horn when I locked it, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Like a really, really loud
It's
one.
like you're like, we're good. We're all safe. So
Yes.
Corinne had not had a homicide since 2001. So what? So they hadn't had a murder since 2001.
Oh, wow.
So that was 16 years
That's crazy.
of not having a murder, and then they had one.
Yeah.
But luckily, here's the good news. They did let the Texas Rangers help out.
Mm-hmm.
They did, hey, Mom. They did let who else was it that worked on this case? The Denton County Sheriff's Department, the U.S. Marshal's Office, and the Texas Rangers.
What does it say? I can't read the message.
You need to scroll down or something. I don't know. I just see her name. Not real sure. Does it let you scroll down?
No.
I don't know. I just said hi because I saw her name. That's all I said. So that they are assisting in the case. There is a reward, and I learned something new on this. She said, "Mom, get me watching." I did learn something new on this case so they, at one point in time, they had a $20,000 reward, but apparently they can say, "I'll have this reward available for 1 year or whatever." And then eventually it expires. And I guess I can understand that. I mean, you wouldn't want your $20,000 sitting there forever.
Yeah,
you know. But anyway, so now it's back down to it's $2,000 right now, and then they're hoping to increase it. And a lot of times, if people come forward, they will, do what they got to do to, increase the reward for somebody coming forward.
Yeah.
So if you have any information about this crime, there are several different ways you can turn in a tip. There is a P3 app, and that is through the Crime Stoppers, Denton County Crime Stoppers. So on your phone, you would just go to your app and you would download the P3 app. And then that would allow you to turn in a tip just from your phone. And it's completely anonymous. They have absolutely no way of knowing who you are. And then you just type in the location and then the information and go from there. And they can communicate with you and just ask questions. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Do I need to do something?
Check your phone.
Oh, okay.
God, you're killing me.
I'm not the smartest. So there's other ways to do it as well. There's other ways to do it as well. They also have the Denton County Crime Stoppers, which I just told you about, the P3 app, or they have the 1-800 number, which is 1-800-388-TIPS or 8477.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a reward in the case. You can also contact the Corinth Criminal Investigation Division at 940-498-2017. So
perfect. I'll put those phone numbers in the chat as well. So that way.
Absolutely.
Because no one can remember numbers
off
of a video. But you can remember it on a text.
It's a really sad case, and I hate to hear that this beautiful girl was killed at such a young age. But
yeah,
it's just nice to be able to put the information out there so people are aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be aware. And and like I said, if you'd like to see pictures of her, you can go on social media and you can look her up on Facebook, but you can also go to the Corinth Police Department and type her name in. Her name is spelled differently though. It's CLAIRMONT, and you can search the police department and all her posts will come up for working on a crime.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. So
awesome.
It's a really sad case.
It is sad. It is very sad. Because she was just having a good time with her friends.
I know. It's just a beautiful girl. I wish I had her hair. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it was.
Her hair was beautiful. And to be able to do my work, my hair and my makeup like that. But
yeah.
It is what it is. We do what we can do. That's not my forte, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, I used to do it.
You're pretty good at it, but I'm not. I like doing hair. I just didn't like doing makeup.
I taught myself how to do most of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes practice.
Watching your videos from Kendall Ray.
Yes. I love Kendall Ray.
Yeah.
Be so cool if she ever watched this.
That was the first time I ever heard you talk about true crime podcasts. I was like, what's a podcast? I didn't know.
Literally.
I had no idea.
So crazy.
Yeah. I think we're about to go to break here in just a second.
Yeah.
But we got finished a little quicker. This was a little bit of a more simpler case, but it still needed to be told. The story needed to be told. So we will be back in just a few minutes.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
We're back.
We're back. Did
Okay.
you guys miss us?
Right.
Because we missed you.
We did. Okay, so that case was an important case, but it was not super, complicated, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So when I was looking on the police department Facebook page, Corinth Police Department, and had looked at all the different posts that they had, she said they should check out and see if anyone the abuser hung out with in jail got out around that time. You'd be shocked what they can. Absolutely. You're right, Rhonda. I hope they've done that because they've been looking for this vehicle since pretty much day one, because I'm sure they contacted that Nissan dealership, and that's where they seen the vehicle that was coming into the parking lot, and I guess they could tell they were talking or whatever. So I hope they do that. Unfortunately, it seems to take a long time for this kind of information, but nevertheless. So even though we're done with that one, don't worry, we have another one to talk about.
This one the research that you did spiraled into this.
Yes, it actually spiraled
which
into
is
this,
crazy.
and it was so crazy that I literally did this information or this research like an hour. She's not even familiar with it really a little bit because I did it on the way right before leaving to come here.
She was just sending me pictures, and she was like, "Do you know this person?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you why I said that. So in the Corinth Police Department post, one of the posts about her, one of the posts had like 220 something comments.
Yeah.
So I was just going through reading them because sometimes they're interesting.
Yeah.
You know, people will give you information. You can find out relatives, all kinds of stuff. So I go through there and I read the comments.
I love to see where people that have got arrested near us, whether I know them or not. So I totally get it.
The busted.
And I love to read the comments. You know, what's so funny is me and Kayla, we used to send each other pictures. And we would be like, look who got arrested.
You're like, oh, darn, that's sad for him.
Yeah.
Or her.
Look at the comments. There's 300 of them.
Oh my
Let's read them all.
That's wild. So this case is crazy. So this person said, hey, I wonder if they checked out this serial killer in Dallas. And I was like, what serial killer in Dallas? I didn't know anything about a serial killer in Dallas. It's really weird that I had never heard the story. And what's even more weird is it happened in 2020. So
yeah,
I have this hair that just
so it's recent.
Yeah, very recent. So I looked up the guy and it said his name was Jeremy Harris. And I thought, oh gosh, this is going to be so hard because his name is Jeremy Harris. Like how are you ever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was able to find him.
Yeah.
So, okay, this guy, this story is crazy. This guy, and this is a solved case, but it's still interesting enough to tell.
It's interesting that there was a serial killer in Dallas. So we just felt like we had to talk about it because show of hands, who knew that there was a serial killer in Dallas in 2020?
My hand is not up.
My hand's not either.
Yeah. I had no idea. And I'm very disappointed that social media didn't do its job and I didn't know about this.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, in 2020, we were all at home, quarantined, not going anywhere or doing anything. Why did I not know?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we were barely, you go out on the street to go to the grocery store and there'd be like 2 cars. You're like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody should have been at home sharing this stuff and we should have known about it. Whatever. Not happy with y'all. But anyway.
Everyone.
Yeah. Everybody
should have done better.
Everybody's in trouble. So this guy was also from the McKinney, Denton area.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, oh, man. And that's what made me start reading about him. I thought, what if he did?
Because it could be 2 and 2 together.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
She could have been his first victim.
Right. So I started reading about this guy. So apparently, Jeremy Harris is responsible for the murder of 4 people. The people are as follows. On October 31st of 2020, he shot Robert Jaden Uria. He was a 19-year-old pre-law student from SMU. He was waiting on an Uber on his way home from a Halloween party. How horrible is that? He's just trying to do the right thing, not drink and drive, went to a party, having a good time. He's going to SMU. He's a pre-law student.
Yeah.
Doing, what he's supposed to do. He was found at Harwood in Jackson. Sorry. I can't see up close with my glasses, so that's hard
and
for
I
me
can't
to
see
read.
far away, so we're doing great.
I can't take them off with these on. So anyway, so that was his first victim. And then 11/14, which is just 2 weeks later, he kills Adam Gautreaux. Bailey shot him on the service road. Like he was shot in his vehicle. So that made me go, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
Because that would corroborate with
like her
that
story.
would be her story.
Yeah. Like maybe he was like flagging her down, like, you have a flat tire. And she's like, what?
Which makes sense because of, obviously we know it wasn't him, right?
Right.
But the way that it looks, it almost looks like it looks like someone is like flagging her to
trying
pull
to
over.
Get her to pull over. Like, hurry up and pull over.
Because I've had people flag me down
I have too.
for like my gas thing being open.
Yes. Like
you know what I mean?
Like that is a 911 emergency.
Yeah.
Shut the gas cap. Your car's going to explode.
Right.
Good Lord. Okay. So 1 hour later, he kills Jeremy Hamilton. He's found in the driver's seat of his vehicle, shot. And I'm like, oh man, this is looking like this might be the person.
Yeah.
On November 18th, 4 days later, he kills his ex-girlfriend's father, a 60-year-old Blair Carter. And then he sets the house on fire. So now you're thinking, did all of this happen because he was mad about something between her and him?
Right.
So I start researching the girlfriend.
And were these people connected in any way?
I didn't find a connection, but her father lived in the Salina area, which is, in that direction.
Was she at the house party?
No.
Oh.
No. So anyway, she had done a protective order against him in 2018, and this was
Her
in
and Amanda have that in
2020.
common.
Yes, they do. You're right. That's what I was saying. I was like, well, maybe. Excuse me.
You're fine.
Maybe he was a Jeremy Harris.
Yeah,
is a black guy, and Amber is a white girl. So I'm thinking, well, maybe he was dating the other girl.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. And it doesn't matter what the race is, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
just to tell you guys not to give this man any credit because he's a horrible human being, but he is very good looking.
I know. I showed her a picture.
I hate that.
I showed her this picture on purpose because I said, look, you can't look at these guys that you're looking at or whatever and think, ooh, he looks like a nice guy, because this guy looks like a nice guy. I mean, he looks like...
Yeah, he does not look like a serial killer.
He does not. Absolutely does not.
And not like where people are like, oh, Ted Bundy didn't look like a serial killer. Ted Bundy looked like a serial killer. I can't say that enough.
He did.
If I would have seen him on the streets, I would have been handsome. Like, yeah, but he was nothing like Jeremy Harris.
Yeah,
Jeremy Harris could like be a model.
Yeah, he's a nice looking guy.
Yeah.
He has glasses, but he's a nice looking guy. If you want to look him up, his name is Jeremy Rashad Harris. Okay. So
just look him up just to see how cute he is. But don't tell him.
Yeah.
Don't message him.
He's in prison.
JP. Don't message him.
Don't message him. You're a good looking dude. No, we're not doing that.
Jeremy.
We're not doing that. Okay. So check this out. So
if
on
Facebook dating doesn't work out, I'm just joking.
Wow.
I'm just joking.
I'm trying to prepare her. Don't look for the ugly guys. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so on November 20, what was that?
I don't know. An audible sound came out of me that I can't control.
So. It's kind of like a dog whistle or something. I heard it. Okay, on November 20th of 2020. Oh wait, I did it backwards. Let me go backwards. On September 15th, 2015.
Always
in
September
Collin
15th.
County. What?
It's always September.
Oh, whatever. Well, this time he was arrested. He was arrested on your sister's birthday. He was arrested for assault on a family member, 2+ within 12 months. His bond was only $5,000 though. I'm not impressed with that, Collin County, and an unsafe speed. So,
Collin County, we're calling you out,
right? So on February 28th of 2016, he was arrested again for criminal trespass in Collin County. On November 19th of 2020, he was arrested in Ellis County.
Dun, dun, dun.
Exactly. That music was very warranted because I'm like, wait a minute. How did this dude get from north of Dallas to Ellis County?
Right.
Apparently, he's from Red Oak. I was like, holy cow. And he's a few years older than Brittany. So I'm messaging her going, do you know this guy? Have you ever seen him before? Did you go to school? I was like freaking out.
And I'm like, if I had went to school with him, I would be married to him. And he would not be a serial killer.
Thank
I would have
God.
changed him.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. For real. Yeah.
That's what they all say. I
Yeah.
can fix him.
This dude was in trouble early on. This is just the 4 that I found.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have much time to research it. But I quickly found out that he was arrested even when he was like 16 for doing bad things like assault on a family member, all kind of burglary of a habitation. No.
I would like to know if he ever
was already
skinned
enthroned.
animals. You know, there's a pattern of
there is.
behavior as a child.
Yes.
And they've realized that they start to skin animals first before they kill humans.
Yeah, and you had a boyfriend that did that, I remember. Okay, so
All right. Sure did. I wonder where he'll be our next case.
Right. Okay, so on November 19th, he was arrested in Ellis County, and there was a Salina PD hold for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they put arrested, but I guess he got transferred from November 19th, which I'll remember is a year to the day that Amanda Marie Claremont was killed.
Right. So
She was
pretty
cured-
close in time frame.
Well, I said a year. That's not correct. 3 years. I'm sorry. Because it wasn't 2019. It was 2017.
Yeah.
Sorry for the confusion, but it's the same day. Okay. On November 20th.
Committing all these murders.
Yeah. November 20th of 2020, the next day, he gets transferred to Salina, which I guess is in Collin County. And he's arrested on 3 counts of murder. And he was arrested for murder in Ellis County as well. Yeah. His bond was $1 million for each occurrence.
Was that Collin County or Ellis County?
Ellis County was 1, and
Uh-huh.
then Collin County was 3 when he got transferred to Salina. And so he recently, in 2023, pled guilty and got life in prison.
So, wow.
Yeah.
That's
That
crazy.
was a while. A matter of fact, I looked up his vehicle, and he owned a black Chevy SUV. So I didn't find a red truck. I was like, good night.
Trying to put those two together.
Yeah,
We
I
should
was-
message him on JPay and be like, hey, why'd you do this?
I know, seriously. I want to know. I really want to
You
know.
could have had you could be a Hollister model. You could be, your posters could be on the store.
Now everybody's going to go look him up because
Yep.
he was a nice looking guy.
He's
He
a
was
good
nice-
looking guy.
I did. I could see my daughter going, oh. And I'm like, okay, so remember, this is why I do background checks before you go out with them.
Stay single, ladies.
Yeah, seriously. Because apparently
Stay single, don't get slaughtered. That's my
Yes.
new tagline.
Yes, exactly. A lot of these, yeah. He was born in 1989, but he is from Red Oak.
Which
That's
is
where his
so
driver's
weird.
license are listed as Red Oak.
Which is
so
crazy.
It is crazy. He was born in September, though. Just to throw that little,
Throw that
thing in
little
there.
tidbit there.
Yeah, yeah.
September what?
12th.
Well, he's a male Virgo, and they're very different than women.
Yeah.
I will not be killing anyone anytime soon.
Ever.
Also, I will. Also, I'll never be with another Virgo man. I would rather be single for the rest of my life.
I don't want to ask who was the Virgo. I don't know.
No one, but I've met them, and they're terrifying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's so hard to wear this thing. Sorry, having difficulties over here. You know, I don't. It was weird that went down that rabbit hole, but it was interesting, and I'm just curious why or who, like we said, who all knew about this, because this was in our backyard. I mean, he was arrested in 2020 in Red Oak.
Literally,
we were living right down the road, 7 miles down the road from
Mhm.
here. How did we not know that someone in Ellis County
they
was
know where we're
arrested for
from?
murder? I mean, Ellis County is a big city, a big county, so
That's so true.
anyway,
I did go
that's
to Red Oak High
interesting.
School, though. I did graduate from there.
Me too.
So, yeah. I know, but I could have easily seen him.
Yeah.
But then I looked up photos and I was like, there's no way I know who this
You would have
person
remembered
is.
him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really sad the people that he took their life, and I don't really know what was going on with him because he looks so normal. I guess it's just a cliche that people that are bad look bad. But
Well, it kind of seems like he had like a manifesto.
yeah.
Like he was like, I'm
doing-
going out.
Yeah, I'm
with
doing
a
all the
bang.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he there was a guy, and I didn't get to watch this, but there is a guy that said that he actually escaped him, that he did shoot him, but he didn't kill him. And he did like a little video on YouTube, and I didn't get to watch it. I didn't have time.
Oh.
Because all this came about like right there towards the end. I was just kind of, getting familiar with it.
We need to watch that.
So
Someone
yeah.
needs to watch that. Well,
Yeah.
we'll also
Yeah,
watch
let's
it.
watch it and find out what happened, because
Yeah.
that was very, very
Well,
interesting.
he lived to tell the tale, so now we know. Like,
Yeah.
what was the reason? Was he just like
randomly
shooting people?
I mean, he did obviously purposely kill her father, which was very sad, by the way.
Yes.
I hate that anybody died, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we know that there was a reason behind that. He was probably mad at the father.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Maybe, he didn't want her to go out with him. Maybe he made her do the protective order. Maybe he just didn't like him. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, he killed him, went in the house, broke into the house, killed him.
Well, if anything, he probably did it to hurt her.
And that was
That's her
considered
father.
capital. That one was considered capital murder because when you commit a crime, when you commit a crime,
crime time.
right? When you commit a
Our
crime,
new catchphrase. Our new song.
there we go. That's how things happen.
Yes.
But when you commit a crime and then you commit another crime, a felony on top of a felony, it turns it into a capital murder.
Yeah.
Plus, he was 60, so he could be considered senior. I don't know what the age is. Maybe 65. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
he got in trouble for capital murder. On this
55
one.
is the age, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I'll just disappear in this chair. It was just a guess. It was just a guess.
Yeah, definitely not.
Don't get mad at me.
55.
Everybody in the comments, you're as old as you feel. All right. And I feel like I'm 60, so don't worry.
I feel like I'm 30.
There we go. I'm not here to offend anyone. All
There you
right,
go.
guys.
So what
It
you're
was
not
just a
supposed to
guess.
do.
I should have Googled. Google is free.
Yeah, exactly. 4 murders in the span of, let's see, 18 days.
Which is
18 days.
Which is insane. Yeah.
Yeah. He went on a chase too. They chased him, and they must have chased him to his house, and then they just got him. I'll have to find that story out because I'm really curious how that went down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he lived in Ovilla. That's a very small town.
Yeah.
It is. Also kind of a quiet town, too.
Very.
How was this not more?
I don't know. I'm really curious. Like,
Like,
how do we not
I
know
didn't
this?
see anything on this
Me
case.
neither.
And I
It
feel like
says
we
serial
see
killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally.
they consider you a serial killer if you kill. I think it's 2 or more
Yeah.
people within a certain time frame, and he did this within 18 days, 4 people.
Well, he almost did
And
5.
then the 5th one, yeah, there was a 5th one.
Yeah, so he's definitely a serial killer.
Yeah, I don't know when the date was on that. I didn't have time. I was running out of time. So,
well, he wasn't the main case. He was just such an interesting tidbit to add.
yeah, this was just an addition because I thought that he was connected. I thought, well, maybe that
Yeah.
girl's right. Maybe he did because 2 people were found shot dead in their vehicles, and it was just like random. They were just in their car, dead.
So was she.
And it just makes you wonder.
How many gunshot wounds were there?
They said multiple. They didn't say how many. They never want to say how many because once the person says, I did it, they want to go, okay, how many times did you shoot her?
Yeah.
And then if they say 2 and it was actually 4, then they know you're not the one. Because sometimes people will actually put themselves in the mix of going to jail on purpose. And that brings me to an interesting little...
Why would they do that?
I don't know. There's lots of reasons, but...
That's so strange.
Yeah. And I'm glad we ended it there because this was actually perfect.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be kind of cool if, when we have time to do these, it's just a little short piece, but it's like weird true crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so weird that you almost can't believe it. So,
Yeah.
But I have to
unusual crime facts.
Very unusual. I have
Yeah.
to take my glasses off because I can't read stuff with my glasses on, if that makes sense. So this case is about a man who wanted to go to prison, apparently. This was in Salt Lake City, Utah. A 65-year-old man was arrested this week after he allegedly robbed $1 from a bank and stayed inside until he was arrested. In a statement, the Salt Lake City Police Department said Donald Santacruz walked into the bank near 300 South Main Street on Monday, March 6 at 10:33 a.m. and demanded money from the employees. After receiving the money, Santacruz allegedly refused to leave the bank. Which is weird. You usually get your money and run.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City police officers safely entered the bank and eventually arrested Santacruz for robbery. According to KSL TV, Santacruz handed the bank teller at Wells Fargo a polite note that reportedly read, "Please pardon me for doing this, but this is robbery. Please give me $1. Thank you." It's just so weird. You can't even believe it's true. The affidavit cited by KSL says Santacruz sat down in the bank lobby and waited for police to arrive. After the teller handed him the $1, he reportedly told other bank customers they were lucky he didn't have a gun with him because it was taking the police so long to get there. The bank manager told police she brought the employees into a back room for safety. Santacruz allegedly said he robbed the bank because he wanted to get arrested and go to federal prison. Like, how weird is that?
He must have had a friend on the inside.
I can't imagine.
He was like,
any
what's
perks.
the fastest way for me to get to prison? I guess I'll just rob $1 from this bank and then refuse to leave.
Wouldn't that be funny? Like, you don't qualify. You didn't take enough money.
Right.
He reportedly said if he gets out of jail, he will rob another bank and ask for more money next time, trying to get the desired result of going to
Let
federal
me guess.
prison.
$2?
KSL reports Santacruz was arrested recently for driving under the influence. I think he might have been under the influence when he
the
did
entire
this.
time.
I mean, is that not the
Safe
weirdest
to
story?
say.
Very strange.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So we were thinking about telling little stories. Let us know what you think about that little piece because I just thought it would be funny to listen because it's weird stories that you just like. First of all, I want to know why he wants to go to federal prison. What? Because I can't imagine any of it is
So
good
what you're
unless he's
saying
homeless and
is-
hungry.
Jeremy Harris, this guy, the guy from our last, Dela Cruz, we all need to message them on JPay.
Yes.
We have so many questions.
Yeah, Santacruz.
Basically,
Hey, did you get that $1?
We're doing this to spread awareness, but also because we're just curious.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need
I do have a lot of questions.
answers.
Yeah, I do have a lot
I
of
need
questions.
answers. And speaking of answers, does anybody have any questions? You can ask in the
yeah.
comments. If not, just say hi to us and tell us that we look pretty.
Yes.
That is also
We had-
welcomed.
We had a shirt on for the Pickle Fest that said,
Feed me pickles and tell me I'm pretty.
Yes, feed me pickles and tell me I'm pretty.
We bought the shirts because Sasha and I thought we were going to be going. But the shirts are still perfect to wear any time of the day.
Yeah, they're so
You know?
cute. Yeah, they're so cute.
Exactly.
So why do y'all think that this man wanted to go to federal prison? I'm curious because I've always heard, I mean, I don't know the differences between prisons. I guess we'll have to research that.
Yeah.
But I've always heard prison doesn't have air, prison doesn't have heat. Okay, first of all, that right there is not going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go to any kind of place where I'm locked in anything. I mean, I don't like to go in elevators, okay?
Yeah, no.
So obviously,
either.
I don't ever want to go to anything that's got me locked up and I can't get out. But why on earth would this man want to go to federal prison?
I have no clue.
I need to know.
Let's message him on JPay.
Well, it depends on if you made it. Because I mean,
and then we can have on this segment, we could be like, hey guys, so we got messages back from JPay from these people. These were their responses.
So far, not any responses yet. But here's the thing. Would he go to federal prison for just stealing $1? First of all, I mean, you don't even go to jail for stealing $1 from a Walmart.
Well, I don't think it's about this stealing. I think it's about
he
the
didn't have a
robbery
gun.
and holding them in.
He didn't have a gun.
But he was like, if I did,
I would be like that. I would be like that woman on that one movie. Go sit down.
Take your $1 and get out.
I'll give you $1 for my purse. I don't
Here's the thing. I'm not going to pull this out of the register. I'll just pull this out of my bag.
Yes.
You leave, and then we'll pretend like this never happened.
Yes.
Because I'd like to go home.
But he wants to go to
I would be like,
prison.
it's an hour and a half to my shift ends. I really don't want to do this right now.
Because you're going to cause this whole ruckus. We're never going to have.
I was planning on getting Taco Bell. Like, I had a whole plan.
They're
like,
gonna
my
be
show is
closed.
on. Like, can we not do this?
It's going to be closed because after COVID, they quit staying open all night.
Right. Ugh.
So stupid. I don't get it. I don't know. But,
me either.
But anyway, we're going to share one of those if y'all like it. So let us know what you think.
Yeah, definitely.
If you enjoyed that part, because I thought it was pretty funny myself.
Yeah.
And I would like to know what happened with Jeremy Rashad Harris.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm really glad to know that there's not a serial killer living in Ellis County anymore.
Literally, I couldn't have been happier about that, especially during 2020. Like, what were we all going to do?
Yeah, we're all sitting at home going, can we go to the store today or is today? Oh, and then you had to watch for the arrows going a certain direction down the aisles.
Maybe he was shooting people that were supposed to quarantine.
I don't know.
Because their person at a party, another person was in their car.
Yeah, but this was kind of at the end of it.
No.
Was it still going on that bad? Because it started in February, right?
Yeah.
This was at the end of it. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyway, and also let us know if you have a case that you would like to see us cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
We would like to cover it.
And also don't forget to, if you have any information or anything that you can give to the police, contact the Denton Crime Stoppers or contact the police station directly.
Yep.
And we'll put that information in the comments as well for the case that we covered. We do hope that is solved. 8 years is an extremely long time for an unsolved case.
Yeah,
so,
I know her family wants to see justice for her.
Of course. Yeah.
She definitely deserves it.
And the person that did it deserves to be behind bars.
Absolutely.
So thanks, guys, so much. We really appreciate you listening to our
radio show.
We're still trying to come up with a tagline, but I really think we should say "Stay safe and don't get slaughtered."
Yeah, well, that's a true story. I think we should stay safe and don't get slaughtered. So
exactly,
kind of like that.
Very, very wise words to live by.
Yeah, stay safe and don't get slaughtered, and don't go out after midnight.
Ooh, we'll have to work on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember you used to tell me nothing good happens after midnight, but I've been out after midnight quite a few times.
I heard that from my dad, so thanks to Dad for that little tidbit.
Sorry, I'm breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Yikes. No. I feel like you picked this case because I went out to
No, it just actually happened. It really did.
She was like, I'm going to show her what can really happen.
This is what happens if you go out after midnight and act stupid. Don't do this, because then you can find a serial killer in your backyard,
or you can find one in Ellis County.
Yeah, see.
So basically, they're
Proof
everywhere.
is in the pudding. Yeah.
So there's really nothing we can do.
Stay safe and don't get slaughtered.
Just live your life.
Yeah, before midnight.
Oh my gosh,
that's what we do. Thanks, guys, for listeing to us.
Yes.
And we will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. If you have any information about any crime, please contact Crime Stoppers of your desired city. You can stay anonymous, and they will not know you told a word.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.